Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Wolverhampton Racecourse here on Saturday. It is the 11th of March 2023. It's Lincoln Trial Day and Lady Wulfruna Day from Wolverhampton, and we're going to look at those two races. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for racecourses around the world, and join me next week for my Cheltenham previews. It's going to be an excellent week of racing, so join me for that. But let's look at the stakes action from Wolverhampton races 3 and 4. The 205 and the 240, both kind of prep races for the opening of the flat, which comes up in 3 weeks' time at Doncaster. Can't wait for that. But let's look at the third race, 205 from Wolverhampton, which is the Lincoln Trial Handicap. It's Class 2 Handicap going for a $60,000 purse. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards, horses rated 0 to 105. 13 horses, a baker's dozen, are going to the Tapeta, the distance of ground of about 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of about 1 mile and 1/8 on the all-weather Tapeta surface. I'm going to take the 4-horse here, Al-Arib, as a top selection. Let's go 4, 5, 11 in your TriCast trifecta. 4, 5, 11 TriCast trifecta. Top selection, 4-horse Al-Arib. This 6-year-old Ridgeling by Warfront. Daniel Muscat gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 23rd January at Southwell, 1 mile in a Class 3 handicap. First off the refreshing, first start of the season. He won by a half length. He had a very wide poster and was very wide throughout, but he just did the bare basics to get the job done. I do think he needed the race off the bench, but he got the job done. Refreshing around 2 turns here to Wolverhampton today. Drawn very well, has some early pace. It's a little bit of class relief from some of his races last season. I think he could get the trip to win. 2 back around the 24th of September at Newmarket. 7 furlongs on the Rolly Mile in a Class 2 handicap. He finished third by 1 3/4 lengths that day. He stalked. He had a little bit of a turn of foot, but the 2 in front of him just ran that better race. The horse who finished second was carrying basically no weight, 114 pounds. He was giving away almost 25 pounds to the winner that day, or 23 pounds. So, he just, the second place finisher freak that day. That's what I'm trying to say. And then prior to that, the horse ran 25th of August at Newcastle, 7 furlongs on Class 3 Racing League handicap. He finished second by a neck that day. He had a very high weight, which cost him. He had the lead, but then he just kind of got overtaken. If he had a little bit of lower weight, he probably would have won that day, but 138 pounds on his back when the winner was carrying 12 less pounds than him. What can you do? And then at Doncaster, 7 furlongs on Class 3. He finished third by a neck that day. He was an all-out finish, but again, he just couldn't get there, but he ran his heart out. He's definitely been on the improve. At 8 to 1, I'm going to use him. I think the 5-horse Notre Belle Bait is your second likeliest winner for Ocean Murphy and Andrew Balding. Most recently in a Linkfield 1 mile Class 2 handicap last month, he finished second by 3/4 length, and he just couldn't catch Outbreak, who's actually running back in this one today, who freaked that day. But this horse, he was gaining late off the bench. Before that, a Kempton 1 mile Class 3 handicap, he finished second by length. Again, he needed something more. He had a high weight, 142 pounds, but he ran his heart out there. And then throughout the soft ground race to Newmarket in October, he wasn't getting a good handle of it. He's run his better numbers on the Tapeta or the synthetic track. Come back to it today. I'll use him in the quad pot that begins with this race. So to recount my selection for the 205, the third race from Wolverhampton, it's the Lincoln Trial Handicap. Let's take here the 4-horse Al-Arib. Give kudos to the 5-horse Notre Belle Bait. 4, 5, 11 TriCast trifecta. 4, 5 in your multi-race. The fourth race, it's featured 240 from Wolverhampton. It's the Lady Wulfruna Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses going for a $69,000 purse. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 8 horses are traveling 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the all-weather Tapeta surface. I'm going to take the 3-horse Dabab as a top selection. There we go. I'm going to go 3-1-2 in your TriCast trifecta. 3-1-2 TriCast trifecta. Top selection of the 3-horse Dabab. This 4-year-old gelding by No Nay Never. Jonathan Thady Gosden trained. Rab Haviland gets them out. Horse hasn't been seen since the 28th of November. That came at Kempton, 1 mile and a listed stakes there. And he finished 4th by 7 lengths that day. And, he just never quickened up. He got beat by better horses, and he just wasn't fresh that day. Refreshing here, drawn very well, has some forwardly pace. I think he can win against these horses. 2 back 27th of October at Linkfield, 7 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. He won by a neck that day, and he stalked. He got the lead, and he got the job done. When he wins, he doesn't win by a lot, but it was still a very good race there. First start in just over a year. Prior to that, he ran the Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes at Newmarket, 7 furlongs, 9th of August of 2021, or excuse me, 9th of October of 2021. He finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths that day, and he just never quickened up. He got beat by better horses there. And then the Group 2 Mill Reef Stakes at Newbury as a 2-year-old over the 6 in 2021. He finished 4th by 1 3/4 lengths that day. He never weakened out of it, but never quickened up, but he was traveling decently there. And then the Group 2 Superlative Stakes at Newmarket in the summer of 2021 over the 7. He finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. Native Trail freak that day. This horse, he just couldn't keep up with him there. But refreshing here to these listed quality horses. I think he should get a good trip and win. I think the one horse Angel Blue is your second likeliest winner for Russell Ryan and Ralph Beckett. He's getting serious class relief. He's been running in Group 1 races last season. Most recently in the Group 1 Sussex Stakes at Goodwood on fast ground over the mile in July. He finished fifth by 1 1/4 lengths that day, and he just never could keep up with the better horses. He wasn't catching Bailly that day. Before then, the Group 1 St. James Palace at a Royal Ascot, 1 mile 14th of June, off the 2 month refreshing from Y Poster. He finished ninth by 7 lengths. Again, never getting the good trip there. And then the Group 3 Greenham Stakes at Newbury, 7 furlongs, 16th of April. He finished third by 1 1/2 lengths that day. And again, he just kind of hit the wall late, not 100% cranked that day. His general form wasn't half bad. He's a Group 1 winner. He won the Group 1 Prix Jean-Luc Lagardière at Longchamp over the 7 in October 21, winning by 3/4 length. He stayed the trip well in the front end. After that, won a Saint-Cloud and over the mile in the Group 1 Prix Carterme de International, winning by a neck. He was all out, but he got the job done. Refreshing here today. I'm going to use him on the ticket because, he could definitely win off of that 2-year-old form. He's getting serious class relief from his last few races. He's going to have to overcome a wide poster, but I'm going to use him on the ticket in that quad pod or place pod, whatever you decide to play. But to recap my selection for the feature 240, the fourth race from Wolverhampton, it's the Lady Wulfruna Stakes. Let's take the 3-horse Dabab. Give kudos to the 1-horse Angel Blue. 3-1-2, Tri-Cash Trifecta. 3-1 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.